All right. This week at the NCPA features Operalia, and we're extremely proud. The moment has arrived. Operalia, the World Opera Competition, is making its India debut. 32 participants, 18 countries, 10 eminent jury members, all on one stage, only at the NCPA. The search for the next big opera star is on. Get your tickets now for the semi-finals on September the 17th and the finals on September the 21st. Tickets are live now at Book My Show. These young, passionate singers need your support, and only if you give them a full house will they feel that support. We're very pleased to welcome back filmmaker, producer, and the man who envisioned Operalia, Alvaro Domingo, with us. Hi, Alvaro. Welcome back. Is it your third time in Mumbai now?
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. And I'm very, very happy to be back. I'm very happy to be talking to you again. And yes, this time around is for the main event. So we're very, very happy that the time has come after a lot of preparation, a lot of working together with all the team at NCPA, and we're slowly arriving. All the staff and the pianist will follow through in a couple of days, and then all the singers, then the jurors at the very end. So we're very excited. We're here.
You know, I was
Yeah.
speaking to Angel Blue,
Yeah.
the singer, and she was talking about how she had the good fortune of being part of past Operalia. She was also a winner in a particular category. And she says
She
it's
was.
probably the most amazing competition for young singers around the world because they get to actually feel the presence of Maestro Plácido Domingo and
Mm.
are able to feed off his energy. And that's something we're really looking forward to this time in India. Maestro himself coming down and spending some time not only performing, but also spending some time with the contestants.
Well, I wanted to correct you on something you said before, that I was, the person behind it. It's certainly my father, the person behind it, the one who thought about it many, many years ago. In fact, many more than 30, that it is the length of the competition. Last year, we celebrated our 30th anniversary in Cape Town. But I think that he thought about this possibility and this resource for young singers even longer than that, about 60 years ago, when he was first in Tel Aviv, beginning his career, and went with my mom, Marta Ornelas, a soprano herself, and with some other friends, and they started working at the National Opera in Tel Aviv, helping each other out with repertoire, with interpretation, with music, tempo, and repertoire. And my father said, you know what, it would be fantastic to have a stage where singers can compete, and they can be heard by a panel of various judges, and be able to further advance their careers, through a competition. And that's how the idea for Operalia came up, and then it was finally realized 30 years ago, 31 years ago now, in Paris for the very first time at Garnier. It is true that yes, it has become one of the most important, if not the most important competition in the world. It's certainly a very strong trampoline for the careers of young singers, as Angel was saying. It helps you propel your career, be heard by a panel of judges that are very, very influential in the industry of opera. It also helps you, to get a prize, a money prize, that for any up and coming singer is very, very important in their career, to have some economical support, to be able to continue to study, to be able to continue to prepare repertoire, and then move on to the big stage, and to gain recognition, and maybe even a contract by one of these jurors who are there to hear you. We remember Angel well, because she won the category of Zarzuela as well. Zarzuela is this Spanish sort of operetta that we have included in our competition, because my grandparents used to be zarzuela singers, and my father practically grew up with the zarzuela music even before he heard opera. And it's always been very, very important to us. My father has been the most important ambassador of the genre worldwide, and he thought it important important to add it to the segment of the competition. And Angel, being an American, she handled the repertoire incredibly well. She said every word with such a conviction, and she sang every phrase, in her final aria, in the competition, that she took the prize even before other Spanish speaking singers, within the same category. So she really reigned supreme in a category that was not of her specialty. But she's since sang a lot of zarzuela, and she's brought it to many concerts with my father around the world. And yeah, she's certainly one of the most notable ambassadors of this zarzuela genre.
Alvaro, also what we're very excited by is Operalia as a format is not just about the audition rounds, but also the decisive rounds being in concert form, a gala concert form. And we're very excited that the participants or the shortlisted ones will be performing with the Symphony Orchestra of India, which is a very, very big privilege for us. We're very honored that that is happening. So talk about that. We understand that Maestro Domingo, Angel, a few other eminent performers along with the Symphony Orchestra of India will be performing with the Operalia contestants.
Mm-hmm. Yes, well, I think Angel just performed with the SOI right now in one of the concerts of Maestro Zubin Mehta. She will not be here for the competition. She's already beyond that, but she will not be here. My father certainly will be here. I think he will be performing even with some of the members maybe that were at the SOI when he was last here in Mumbai in 2008, when he did a concert conducted by Maestro Zubin Mehta, and he's very, very excited to be back. Yes, the competition does go through 3 rounds. The quarterfinal rounds and the semifinal rounds are happening with the piano accompaniment, with our 3 pianists that will support the singers through the coaching stages and the preparation for the quarterfinals and semifinals. And the singers that will be chosen for the final will be accompanied by the orchestra, conducted by both my father and by Maestro Kamal Khan. Yes, it is a very exciting moment. It is the moment of truth in a stage, in an operatic stage, over a full orchestra, playing and accompanying you before a full house. So it's perhaps the closest thing to an actual performance, in an opera house. So that is how the importance of the final is portrayed, with accompaniment of a full orchestra. So we're very happy to be able to present it now here, and we'll see who takes it all.
So, well, like Alvaro just mentioned, in 2008, Maestro Plácido Domingo came to Mumbai and performed at the NCPA. It was conducted by Maestro Zubin Mehta, and this was a concert in honor of Zubin Mehta, Maestro Zubin Mehta's father, Meli Mehta's centennial. So they were honoring Meli Mehta's centennial, and of course Meli Mehta's contribution to classical music in India. So it'll be fabulous that Maestro Plácido Domingo is reuniting with the Indian public with the Indian audience. And indeed, we're also thrilled that there is an Indian participant in Operalia this year.
Yes, that's right. That's right. It was amazing to find him and to be able to incorporate him into the list of the 32 members that will be, candidates that will be coming, to perform here and to compete here. It is always wonderful when a local, singer, makes it into the singers that will participate in the competition, and we're proud to have him. And sometimes there are more, sometimes there are less, depending on the tradition, of opera within that country. But in Korea, certainly we would have had many more. In South Africa, we've had many. When in the US, certainly abundance. But to be able to present one candidate is very, very, very exciting, and it really builds on the emotions of the competition. So we're very happy.
Well, just so if some participants were listening to this, I mean, I know you started off in 1993. Operalia does invite participation from all types of singers between the ages of 20 and 32. And by this, I mean all voice types. It's not one particular voice type. And all the auditions of the leading 30 or 40 singers are, once they're shortlisted from the hundreds of applications that they receive, are presided over by a panel of distinguished national personalities, presided over by Maestro Plácido Domingo. Alvaro, what is it that it takes to be a winner of Operalia?
I think it's a combination, and certainly the judges have a better to say that and to judge that, no, but I think it's the whole package, the musicality that you bring, the repertoire that you choose, and the way that you present and interpret that repertoire in that particular moment, and yeah, you must have some charisma. There must be another spark there that really accompanies you through the rounds, and through the final, and with the audience. That interaction with the audience is also very, very important. Whereas in the preliminary rounds, there isn't so much clapping because the house is usually empty. Except for the semifinal, that this time there will be some audience at the semifinal. We're happy to say and happy to have them. The day of the final with the full house, there's an incredible energy between the singers and the audience, and that also takes the performance of that particular candidate to a higher level. As I say, it's really a combination of elements. No, there isn't just one that if your voice is fantastic may push you through. No, I think that you need to be, as a performer, as an interpreter, you need to really reach the heart of the audience out there, and the minds and hearts of the jurors out there. So it's really a combination. There isn't one single element that will get you there. A lot of work. I must admit that has to be a lot of work, and I think that today's singers are certainly prepared for that, and they are committed, and they're incredibly prepared. Most of them are pianists and accompany themselves at the piano. They speak several languages. They have learned repertoire very well, and they're very, very well prepared. So that's something that I've seen certainly in my father through the years, how he had a lot of discipline in preparing all of his roles, and making the particular role that he was doing at a time the most important role at the moment, no, and working himself repertoire at the piano, accompanying himself in order to save voice, and being very disciplined, punctual, and very, very important. But yeah, there's a lot of elements involved.
A combination of factors. There you heard it from the man himself. He's vice president of Operalia, Alvaro Domingo, and Alvaro Domingo's father is the great Maestro Plácido Domingo, who we welcome with open arms, and we can't wait for him to sing again for us. September the 17th, the semi-finals. September the 21st, the finals. It's the World Opera Competition, Operalia. We really thank Rolex for helping us and being our able sponsors, the good people at Rolex for supporting Operalia, the World Opera Competition here in India. Thank you so much, Alvaro, and hope to see you soon in person. All the best.
Well, I thank you. I thank you very much, as I thank NCPA for this beautiful invitation that we were finally able to accept and carry through. And certainly, yes, as you say, reiterate also Rolex's support, which we've had for over 21 years now, and we're thrilled to be together in this mission to support new artists. So thank you very much for having me. I look forward to meeting you in person soon, and be well. Enjoy.
Cheers. Thank you. Welcome to This Week at the NCPA. Special moment. The NCPA and SOHO Theatre announce an exciting collaboration to co-present The Gentleman's Club. Now, the National Centre for the Performing Arts and London SOHO Theatre have a long-standing understanding, a wonderful relationship, which we shall talk about as my two guests join me. It's Puja Sarup from the Patchworks Ensemble and Bruce Guthrie from the NCPA. How are you, Puja? Bruce?
Oh, excited, tired. It's kind of like a roller coaster feeling. Like you're like, yeah, yeah. Fear, anxiety, excitement. The work.
All the things that go into the making of a new production or the reprising of one. Of one.
Which feels like a new production, actually. It's like it's the same work, same amount of work.
Bruce, you well?
Very well, yeah. I'm at the other end of town and the other end of the spectrum with that is that things are moving as they should for the moment until they don't. So yeah, so we just keep moving with it. But very excited about Gentlemen's Club coming back to the NCPA, and then moving on to London for 2 weeks as well. It's very exciting.
Okay, I want to start and set the precedent for this. Talk about this collaboration between the NCPA and the SOHO Theatre. And it's obviously a very, very unique opportunity for the NCPA to expand its international reach, and likewise for the SOHO Theatre to engage with a very growing thespian community in India, Bruce.
Yeah, absolutely. And actually, SOHO has a branch that works here in Mumbai as well. And you've got SOHO Theatre India, which is part of what they want to be doing, because it's not just about theatre, even though that's what they're called, is that they do a lot of stand-up comedy, they do spoken word as well. And I've known the team at SOHO for many years, even before I was at NCPA. And it's always been my ambition to be able to take work outside of India and to the UK, because I think that there is a big audience for original Indian work in London. And I was talking to SOHO Theatre about taking a show before the pandemic, and then of course the world went on pause for 2 years, and so it's taken us that time to get back to this stage. And when we started talking again, probably about 8 months ago, about the potential to bring a show, and we talked about what shows could be brought, Gentlemen's Club was a show that was on my radar, and it was on their radar as well. They knew about it, and it felt like that it was a really fantastic fit for both us at NCPA, because it actually is that I think that one of the first shows that it had was actually at NCPA in 2015 as part of the Centre Stage Festival. So it kind of feels like it's a work that its origins, were in and around the NCPA, but also it just felt like it really fit that brand for SOHO. It feels like it's the right place. It feels like it's the right time for it, and so we're really excited about first of all the run here at NCPA on the 27th and the 28th, which is almost sold out, and that then we all travel to London, and it will be playing at SOHO Theatre from the 1st of October until the 12th of October in their cabaret space, which is a really lovely, intimate space, which I think will suit the show very well.
Well, you heard it from Bruce, 27th and 28th here in Mumbai City at the Experimental Theatre. Tickets are live now as we speak. Very few left, so you might want to rush to book my show and just grab them. And then they make their way to London, where they will showcase at the SOHO Theatre. I remember seeing the Gentlemen's Club at G5A, Puja, and being absolutely blown away by it, and coming and meeting you backstage. Of course, there's very little backstage at the G5A. Coming and meeting you post the performance and saying, my God, what was that? It's just amazing. And you say it is an entirely different production, even though you're reprising it. Explain that, please.
It's not entirely different. It's the same characters. It's the same world of this drag king club, set in an imaginary space and time in Mumbai. So the basic world is the same, but we have like a new track, which is one of the kings wanting to explore more in drag and wanting to leave the club. So that's the new thread that we're exploring this time. Yeah.
And Shamsher is still there, huh?
Shamsher is still there. I think over the years got like a little old. This was actually a gift from Nasir and Ratna.
Yeah, hang on a second. So, for those of you listening to us purely in audio on the radio, she showed me a framed portrait of the great Shammi Kapoor, because Rocky, also known as Shamsher, his act is a tribute to the legendary Shammi Kapoor in the golden era of Hindi cinema in the Gentleman's Club. Continue. So it was a gift given to you by Nasiruddin Shah and Ratna Pathak Shah.
And Ratna Pathak Shah, who saw the show, and then I got a text from Nasir saying, "When is your birthday?" And he very sweetly had this. So this is a photograph of Shammi Kapoor, which you don't see online. Like, this is from Nasir Hussein's private collection. So yeah, Nasir gave me a copy. He framed it and gave me a copy. So yeah, that's part of my. I think I have now. It's a shrine. I think it looks like a shrine. I've collected photographs and books. And so in the play, my character Rocky, the drag king persona is inspired by Shammi Kapoor. So that's the fun part. I have a wig, I have a gold jacket, and it's not that I grew up being a Shammi Kapoor fan, but it's when we started doing work and researching for the play. That's when, he was incredible. Like, the energy that he has. You watch any song, no matter what your mood is, you feel uplifted. You're like, okay, yeah, bring it on. Yeah, okay, let's do it.
You do Yahoo.
Yeah. Yeah.
And Bruce, even though she's talking about a definite time and period in the annals of Hindi cinema, the fact that this diverse ensemble of women embracing the art of drag, cabaret-style performances, a gritty hidden world, this dazzling mix of dance, music, projection, this could easily find home at the SOHO Theatre. And that's what you mean by saying, even if you take this there in its current avatar, the audiences at the SOHO are going to love it.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that the content is an education, let's put it like that. It's certainly been an education for me. But it's also, like you say, it's a world in which, a lot of people in the UK might not know an awful lot about. And London is pretty diverse, pretty cosmopolitan. There are, 60, 70 different theatres all within a stone's throw of the SOHO Theatre. So you're kind of spoiled for content when it comes to that. But I think that there's going to be a real appetite around the show. We're already seeing it, actually, because the tickets are on sale there just now and that people are intrigued by it. And I think that, that what Patchworks Ensemble have done with the show is that they've brought a very distinctive look into this world and also into drag kings as well. This is it, because it's different. I'm purely doing this from what I've learned about the show, is that how different it is here in India as opposed to how it is elsewhere in the world. And that unique flavour of nostalgia, the unique flavour of culture, the unique flavour of fun that's brought by the show is something different to, I think, what anyone will have seen actually in London. And Soho's got such a strong tie with the Edinburgh Festival, and that's kind of what it feels like. It feels like it's that kind of show that you go into, and that it's the show that you want to tell all your friends about and tell them all to go and see. So I'm looking forward to us sharing that with the London audience, because I really think that they're gonna have a blast.
I think we also have such a fun buffet of drag kings, like there's one which is inspired by Shammi, and so yes, you have the Bollywood angle, but then we have this Bengali intellectual, thinks he's leading a revolution. Then we have another drag king inspired by Justin Timberlake. So it's I think it's really like a Gujarati thali with everything on it.
And considering how many Gujaratis there are in the UK, I'm sure there are going to be lots of takers.
I think there will be. There was something that Puja and Sheena had said to me though about the show, and how it's kind of a celebration of masculinity as well, and how it's a show which celebrates that in a positive way.
Yes, absolutely.
I think that's really interesting, in an age whereby that all that you hear whenever you hear the word masculinity is toxic, is the word that's in front of it. To have something which is quite, a positive celebration of what that is quite, different.
And again, in that aspect, that synergy between the SOHO Theatre and the NCPA is wonderful. I can imagine something like this with Drag Kings, this celebration of masculinity, given that a lot of the work that they're doing in SOHO celebrates the queer movement, the punk movement, the counterculture movement. And a lot of that is what the Gentlemen's Club talks about, and I can imagine you being a raging success there. Puja and gang. Listen, sorry, you were saying, sorry I interrupted you.
No, I'm just saying that, being Indian, it's like you have family everywhere. So we're calling everybody and saying, hey, we're coming. And we have friends everywhere, and like family has friends everywhere. So yeah, that's what we're tapping into to get like people to the SOHO shows.
I remember having Sheena and you on my show, and you very interestingly explained to me, the two of you, how Patchworks Ensemble is process based, and how you start with explorations and workshops, and from therein emerges what you're setting out to seek in a very organic manner. Is that still the way you're going about things?
Yes.
A few years or a decade down the line?
Yes. Well, actually, this is the 10th year of Patchworks Ensemble. So that's why we're so excited. We're like, oh, wow, what a great way to celebrate the 10th year. We get to go to SOHO, NCPA and SOHO. So that's just like a yay, thank you, universe thing. The process is the same. We're still like racking our brains and like feeling the challenges of devising every time we do it. It doesn't get easier. It's been 10 years. It doesn't get easier. But yes, it is still the process. It is still exploring on the floor, taking it back to the writing board. Okay, does this work? Taking it back to the floor. So this constant, exploring is still on.
Bruce, another interesting area for synergy between the twin cities, which is, I call it twin cities. I mean, there's so much, even though at the face of it, they're so different. You've lived in both, so you would know. The beating heart of both is comedy. The SOHO Theatre seems to be welcoming a lot of Indian comedians, celebrating them. You've got a robust program now, Bruce, for comedy at the NCPA. And comedians are loving performing at the Experimental Theatre, the NCPA, and having a few laughs themselves. So talk about the comedy exchange, other than the theatrical exchange.
Yeah, we've got a few artists that are coming over from the UK as well to play here at NCPA, as well as the local Indian comics and also comics from across the country as well. And the audience is really built for that here, not only in the Experimental, but in the Godrej Theatre, we have more intimate kind of shows whereby that you get to see several comics, maybe doing 10 to 15 minute sets, but also solo shows, and then even in the Tata Theatre. And of course, there's the big shows that happen here every now and again with Veer Das and Zakir Khan, who come and regularly sell out in the auditoriums here. But I think that SOHO has really created a unique identity for itself in the theatre scene in the UK because of that fusion of comedy and theatre, and sometimes, kind of narrative-based stand-up as well. And I think that is a really interesting kind of fusion that they've created, and something that their brand is very well known for. And once again, it's kind of why this show really fits, because it's not quite cabaret. It is a play, but it's got so many different elements, as you pointed out earlier, within it. So it feels like it's bang on brand for a SOHO audience. I mean, they have 3 shows in that space a day, minimum of 3 shows, and it's a variety of stand-up, solo shows, big plays, everything like that. So it's great. It's great to be involved with them.
Lovely. 27th and 28th of September, here at the Experimental Theatre NCPA. Tickets are live at Book My Show. After which, if you have friends and family in the UK, tell them to go to the SOHO Theatre, Dean Street. There's another one also opening at Walthamstow, which is going to happen soon. We will keep you apprised of that. But Puja and the Patchworks Ensemble bring the Gentlemen's Club to the original SOHO Theatre in London. Please tell friends, family about it. Give it a lot of love. And, we want to see a houseful show soon. Thank you, guys. Thank you, Bruce. Thank you, Puja.
Thanks so much. Thanks for having us.
94.3 Radio 1.